as I mentioned earlier, Autodesk Insight is it comes in two form, which is the first one, it comes in a web application, which we're going to take a look just in a moment. And then the second one, it comes as a plugin to either Formit or Revit. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to show you how it can be done within Revit plugin. What can you actually do within the Revit plugin? So I'm using Revit 2020 as per version that I'm using right now. So I'm going to open up my file here. So I'm going to open. So let me just, okay. I'm going to locate my file. So first thing first, we're going to take a look into the energy analysis. So I'm going to open my file. So this is actually the sample file that we have from Revit. I just save as so that I can make changes to my file. And quickly, I'm going to go into my 3D view. Okay, so this is your 3D view. So first thing first, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you the Analyze tab. So whenever you have installed the plugin, so the plugin, as I mentioned earlier, you need to go into your Autodesk Manage account, or you can just simply Google Insight plugin download. Okay, and then when you install it into your PC, into your Revit, it will fall under the Analyze tab. Okay, a lot of people mistakenly think that it will fall under add-in, but it actually fall under the Analyze tab. Okay, and then it will be located here, which is our Insight panel here. We have lighting and solar. Okay, so first thing first, in order for me to actually create my energy analysis, so what I'm going to do is that first thing first, it's very important to actually put in your location. Why? Because with location, you can actually have a more accurate data. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to find Jalan Loque. So this is where our office is located. Okay, and then search. So of course it depends on your internet connection. So I'm just going to pick the closest weather station that I have, and I'm going to click on OK. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is that we're going to take a look into our energy optimization panel here. So tadi what I did was I changed the location of my project, and then now we're going to take a look into our energy setting. So here, the first thing that you can see is that we have our mode here. So if you drop down, you will see we have used building element, use conceptual methods, and lastly we have used conceptual methods and building element. So basically what you should understand is that other than your building element, you can actually create this energy analysis while you still in your message. For example, if you still in a very early design process, of course, sometimes you start off with creating some message. Could be from Revit, could be from it. So what you can do is that if you are using message, you can actually use conceptual message here. But since the model that I'm using does not have any message, so I'm going to use building element. Okay, and then I'm going to drop down a bit to my advanced option. In here, what really important is that we have our building type. Okay, so building type, basically you can actually tell Revit what type of building that this is going to be. So whether this is a town hall, if this is a museum and everything. So what it does is that whatever building type that you choose will actually reflect it back into the HVAC system and everything that we have down here. Okay, so here I'm just going to use the single family, and then I'm going to click on OK, and then I'm going to click on OK. And then we're going to create our energy model. So here I'm going to create my energy model. Okay, so create energy analytical model and just give it some time to actually create everything. So this could be take you some time, but you just have to wait depending on the size of your file. And then what I'm going to do is after I have created my energy model, I'm going to click on generate. So here I'm going to generate using my existing energy analytical model. Okay. Okay. So I accept here. Okay. So it's going to start an energy simulation. If you take a look down here, it states that it is now ready. Okay. And then what you're going to do is that you can go and click on optimize. So what happened when you click on optimize? So, okay, Revit will actually go and open a web browser. Okay, so what happened here is that we'll actually go into your Insight account. So for example, here I'm using a click account. So you can see whatever file that I name, my file, it will appear here. Okay, but to save us some time, I already compute my analysis. So I'm just going to show you here. Okay, so now if you have completed your analysis, give it some time, could be 5 minutes, could be longer or lower than that. So it all depend on the size of your file. Okay, so after you generate just now from Revit, it will actually go into this Autodesk Insight, which is actually our Insight 360. The previous name was Insight 360. Okay, so whatever project that you have optimized and then you put it into your Insight, it will be listed here. Okay, so I have in advance, I have compute the project and everything. So I'm just going to open it up for you here. Okay. Okay, so this is our Insight 360. So what does it do? What can you do from it? So we're going to take a look into it now. Okay, so now I have my building here. This is my energy model. And then what you can do is that here in this widget right here, you have 21.4 USD per meter square per year. This is what it computed from your project. And then if you click on this one, you will see that now it says that the energy required for your building is 235 kilowatt hour per meter square per year. So if I'm not mistaken, Malaysia, we have this kind of standard. If you want to, we have this GBI standard and everything. So basically, the lower this value is, the better. So what can you do? How can you make it lower? Is that if you drop down here, we have our benchmark comparison and our model history. So this is all that we have. Okay, so our 235 is quite okay if we look into ASHRAE 90.1. But if we look into Architecture 2030, this is actually quite high. Okay, and then how we can make it better, how we can make this value to be lower. So we have all those widgets here. We have our window shade out, window glass out. We have pretty much everything about the building. So we have our roof construction, infiltration, plug load efficiency and everything. So this is the time where you can actually analyze your project. So whether you wanted to have a more optimized window wall ratio and everything. So I'm going to show you one. So for example, I wanted to make a change into my window wall ratio on my northern wall. So I'm just going to click on this one. So you see this is my 235 EUI, okay, kilowatt hour per meter square per year. So what I'm going to do is that here, if you see this triangle shape, this is actually my current value. Okay, so what you can do is that you can see that if you wanted to actually decrease the value, you can do so. So how we can do it is that simply you just drag this one, and then when you see it, you will see that it actually affect on the numbers that we have here. Okay, so if you put it here, so it might be different. Okay, 240, and then if I drop it into 50%, it will become 236. So this is how you can actually manipulate the data. So what you can do is that whatever changes that you have created up here, so what we can do is that you can actually reflect it back into your project. So let's say you change the window wall ratio. So this window wall ratio, even though it is only analytical in the web browser, you can actually mark it back into your project and make the necessary changes to your project in order to make it become more efficient and sustainable. So that is how energy analysis works. You simply just bring in your model from Revit using your energy analysis and everything, and then bring it into Insight 360, and this is where you can actually create your analysis and everything. You can make changes, but the changes is not automatically reflected into your Revit. You still need to manually change it into your model.